My advice is always, when you're out there using your iPod, or you're out down the disco listening to your Bangaroo music, or you're out there fantasising of wanting to drive the next Aston Martin, or you're at the cinema, or you're out with your mates having a Diet Coke, everything that you're doing, eating, living and breathing has got a connection to science and maths. And if you can just take a moment to understand that connection, that will motivate you to want to study the subject further.
Come in with an open mind and a willingness to learn, and always seek to do things better. Look for continuous improvement, and never be afraid to ask questions, and always, as I say, work hard on improvement and learning.
As you want to progress in research, some of the biggest challenges are making sure that you're always looking at the very important questions, and that you stay focused on what are really important challenges in science, so that you really keep at the cutting edge.
What's helped me most in my career has definitely been the networking side of it, and really looking out for opportunities all the time, and kind of keeping my ear to the ground, talking to people, finding out what they're doing, seeing how my work might be able to integrate with their work, or because if you're networking and talking to people all the time, then you find out where there's funding availability, to carry out your work, or if there's somebody else's work can collaborate really well with your own. So I think networking is probably one of the most important things actually that a scientist or engineer can do.
You are going to have to sell yourself as with any other job if you want, as soon as you leave university. But you have to stay open to options, use the science wherever you can, learn to describe the skills that you've got from your science degree, and you also need to have a very wide search in the way you look for a job. University students often go to the leading players in their locality or the big names. Actually, science is something, innovation is happening in lots of SMEs, and they need R&D people, they need project managers, and you can start in all of these areas, and you can and think of the really big projects, the Olympics, energy efficiency and things there. Think through the sorts of opportunities that might arise and widen your horizons.
To carry on the literary theme of this scientific programme, Russian author Maxim Gorky said of work, "When work is a pleasure, life is a joy. When work is a duty, life is slavery." And for someone that was writing at the height of Stalin's gulagging, he would have known a lot about work as slavery. So what do our interviewees like best about what they do?
Probably not knowing what's going to be happening next, basically. You might be out on site one day, you might get a new project coming in that might be based in Africa. You could end up anywhere in the world, and you're working with different people every single day.
It's seeing the world. I tend to travel a fair bit. I get out of the office probably 30% of the time, which is great. You get to see places you never get to see, and you get to come across things which you only read about usually, and it's fascinating.
I enjoy the fact that I'm not sat behind a desk every day. I'm out in the lab, I'm making things, I'm being creative, and it's a really friendly working environment. I'm getting paid to do a job that I love.
One of the main things is the people that I work with. I do actually really get along well with them, and that makes a big difference every morning. But also, being a linguist, I really enjoy it when I get a chance to use my French, and I do more often than I thought I would, so that is a real plus for me.
Well, one of the perks of the industry is that you literally go everywhere. You will find paint, the most frequently seen man-made object, just about everywhere on the planet. And so you can be going to a timber forest, you can be going to a Mauritian island, and you will find paint in the paint industry. So it is one of the great global places. And we've been in India recently, starting a joint venture, and the challenges there are similar but different. It's a phenomenal and almost eternal opportunity.
Some of the key things I've done are to launch new products into the market whilst working on the Dulux brand. And it's been fantastic to take an idea from its initial stages within the company to concept, written concept, testing that concept with a target audience, and then getting it onto shelf and seeing it on shelf and seeing people choose it over competitors.
There's been a few highlights for me in my career. First of all, getting my first patent, that was a big plus. Secondly, being able to go to university as a mature student day release, and then winning a Royal Society Chemistry Award for doing well in the university. and winning a Royal Society of Chemistry award for my achievements in the degree course was a big plus. The award ceremony was amazing.
There's a lot of problem solving, so you can get your teeth into a good problem and in the end solve it and achieve something at the end.
The thing I enjoy the most about my job is the variety. I never really have to do the same thing over and over. I enjoy the fact that there's always a fresh challenge and that I don't really have to be in my office, that I can go and interact with people, look at problems, keeps my mind very agile.
The best thing about my job really is seeing a contribution that you've made being put into practice and helping the operability of the plant, making it more economical, more profitable. It could be anything from a suggestion in changing operating conditions to something more complex like a new bit of process you've designed for the plant and seeing that being commissioned working as it should do.